Tega.
I'm terrible.
You sound like Tyler Perry, like yeah.
I think both of you need Jesus. Good morning,
Actually,
Lagos. I don't know who these people are.
Good morning, Tega. Tega, I remember you when I got to Camp Nou. I said, let me look at every spot that Tega always talks about.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys Camp Nou?
Yeah.
You're just trying to show off.
That's what I did.
Just trying to show off. You know, I remember you when I got to Camp Nou.
No, of course. As soon as I stepped
Don't
in,
mind
I
him.
was like,
Very,
So here's what I did.
turn off his mic.
I touched the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this one is for Tega.
Yeah, I rubbed my hand.
Touched the wall. I said, this one is for Tega's analysis. Well, how are you though?
I think I'm alive.
Yes.
How are you feeling though?
5 kg lighter, but I'm
I
alive.
know, guys. Tega is already asleep, and then she got ill. She fell ill, and is now
I should
even.
lost more.
So please, we need to feed her. So if you would like to,
Ah.
for Amici clothes, a little orgabi.
Please address the food accordingly.
There are levels to
Ayo Myra
this.
essay for Tega in care of
Wow.
Ayo Myra essay.
Don't put Ayo there. Oh.
We know who's had breakfast and who hasn't. Send messages to WhatsApp 0809444091. That's a WhatsApp number for your messages. On Twitter as well.
You can go to @smooth981fm. Please use the hashtag lockerroom981 so we can easily track your messages and keep the conversation going.
And the show is streaming live on YouTube. Our first story is about Nigeria and its sports minister, Sunday Dare. He's disclosed that he will dig into what led to the country's exit from the Africa Women's Olympic qualifiers against Cote d'Ivoire. Kafo Nani fired Clementine Toure's side ahead of the 12th minute. But Asisa Toshoala leveled 16 minutes from halftime to ensure the teams played out a 1-1 draw at Gege Stadium in Lagos on Monday. Now, following a 0-0 first leg draw in Abidjan, the 1-1 result on aggregates means that Super Falcons bowed out of the qualification series on the third consecutive attempt on away goals.
Yes, so Nigeria is not going to be at the Tokyo Olympics. Well, the Super Falcons won't be at the Tokyo Olympics. We may show up during track and field, and we may come back with the same results that we did at the World Championship, but it is guaranteed that the Super Falcons, barring any disqualification miracle, what it is that for the third time in a row, the Super Falcons will not be playing at the Olympics. So yes, the giant footballing nation of Africa is not going to be playing football at the Tokyo Olympics, which is sad. Like I said on Monday, our football is walking backwards, and again, this is another result just to prove it. After the World Cup, there was politics going on in the team. Yes, and that's what led to all of this. Some players were sidelined, and Coach Thomas Napi did not like what was happening. I mean, he's in charge of the team, but he's not in charge of his players and the rest of that. So he got upset too, and he left, and the NFF put somebody else there who picked his own captain, who picked his own team. And I do remember at the time that it was just after the appointment of Sunday Dare as sports minister, of Nigeria, and he had come up to say that he was going to discuss that, probe that, and resolve that issue. I remember he did speak with with the coach that left, with Thomas Zenabi at the time, saying that he was going to try to resolve the issue. What came out of that meeting, we do not know. If that meeting ever held, we do not know. But what I do remember clearly was him reaching out to Thomas Zenabi at the time and saying he was going to sort out everything, and then reaching out to the NFF, only for him to now tell us that he wants to probe laws. The first probe, we've not seen results. You are now telling us to hold our breath on another probe. Minister, we do not believe you. And that's a first failure, because when you start to make statements like this, and then these things start to happen in the early stages of your under your leadership, then people don't trust you. Same old. So I'm not blaming the minister, the sports minister, for what happened in football. That one is strictly on the NFF. However, I am saying you told us that you were going to resolve the issue when it started. you did not resolve the issue.
Mm.
For you to want to come and do autopsy now, we will not believe you.
But should we give him the benefit of the doubt that he's recently been appointed?
And he shouldn't have spoken that time. This is the thing about promising and failing. Don't promise things. Don't say stuff like I'm going to resolve. There's going to be a meeting. We don't know what happened. Meeting we don't know if he held. Then now you want to do probe again after the consequence of the original action that you tried to resolve
and didn't quite.
Exactly. So
Okay.
don't be doing that.
Right.
Too much tweeting. Stop tweeting these things.
Get to work. Sleeves off.
You know?
All right, let's move on to tennis. So Andy Murray pushes Fabio Fognini before losing Tecchi battle. So Murray criticized Italy's Fabio after an on-court row at the Shanghai Masters, saying, "I'm not having him talk to me like that." A tight deciding set saw an angry Murray tell Fognini to shut up, and twice failed to serve out for victory. Now Fognini dominated a decisive tie-break to win 7-6, 7-4, 2-6, 7-6, 7-2. Let's talk about. I thought Andy Murray was a gentleman.
Oh, Andy Murray is a gentleman. The way he said this "shut up," it was very polite.
Very British.
I've never heard so "shut up" in my life. When he said it, I wanted to talk some more. It sounded really cool, just so I could hear it one more time. But Fonini was being naughty. Truth be told, and Andy wouldn't ever do that.
Yeah.
Fonini was being naughty. So they were playing the game, and I think something happened that made Fonini call out. Now, you shouldn't call out in the middle of games. Andy was about to hit a volley. Fonini calls out. Andy looks at him and says, "Why would you call out in the middle of a game?" And he says that Andy should stop looking at him. Andy's like, "You just disrupted the game. How can you say I should not look at you?" And the umpire, I would say this, the umpire didn't handle the situation very well.
Okay.
Because the umpire obviously saw everything that was going on, but he didn't deal with it, and so when Fonini called out for a reason, and the umpire knew the reason, but what the umpire should have done was explain to Andy, not allow both players to escalate like that.
Yeah.
And so Andy is now talking to the umpire and saying, why would you let that happen? He's not supposed to call out. He said, then the umpire says, "Okay, I will deal with it," and then turns to talk to Fonini. "You had to wait for me to come to complain when you know the rules." It was tacky handling. And then halfway through he says, "Okay, let's just focus on the tennis. Let everybody just focus on the tennis." "Oh, you're lucky it's not Serena." Shove that racket down. So far down. But he because I would say this, because he did not handle the umpire did not handle the situation, it devolved, and that's when Andy Murray was talking to the umpire, and then Fonini is talking, and then Andy Murray tells him "shut up," and then continues talking. At the end of the day, Andy Murray just didn't get over that bad behavior, and you know, Andy is he's very proper. He will give you your respect on the other side, even if he's angry with himself and he's muttering sometimes like he does, or he yells at himself. He conducts himself, I mean, in the most proper fashion, and that there is under most circumstances. So, I first of all, I didn't think the umpire should have handled it that way. And because Fonini is that kind of happy-go-lucky guy, he made it even more frustrating by laughing in between Andy's complaints and saying Andy should get a sense of humor.
What?
I kid you not. You can imagine a proper British man.
I would say shut up.
Hyperventilating, and this one says, "Oh, just get a sense of humor." It infuriated Andy the more. He just really didn't get his head into it anymore. And even if he was 7-7 for the set at that time, he played a couple of rough points, and then during the tiebreaker, Fonini completely blitzed it. That may still have happened without the thief that went on, but because the thief went on, we will never know now. So Andy was really, really upset, and I do know the way Fonini is. He'll come and approach you after, and there's a limit to how much you can keep malice with someone like Fonini. So I guess they'll resolve it later, but it was really bad behavior by him, and very bad handling by the umpire.
Big T thinks that the Queen should hand Andy a medal. That's the most polite shut up ever. Very
It's an
British
MBE, right?
insult.
Or an OBE.
I don't know what
Adimari
it
has
is.
in
I
my
know, but
mind.
he has been honored for something.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Mm,
but I
something,
don't
yeah.
know.
mm.
He has been honored, after he won Wimbledon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I
I
think
don't
he
know
got a
what.
national. I think
Yeah.
probably an MBE.
We have this one now from Amara.
Yeah, Amara says, take out Val and Ayo. You guys got me smiling sheepishly while driving through this crazy traffic. Oh, well done to you, True. Thank
Oh,
you
thank
so
you.
much,
Thank you,
Amara.
Amara.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
This one's from Sheriff. Sheriff's episode will continue to go in circles. These things happen every time. I heard there's a woman backed by the NFF running the affairs of the Super Falcons, calling the shots. What a shame, Nigeria. One step forward and 10 steps backwards. Thank you, Sheriff.
How
There,
about
okay, there's no such woman.
Mm.
First of all, the head of football for women's football is a woman, and is Ruth David, and she doesn't run the NFF.
Mm.
In fact, she's barely ever in the country. She only shows up during tournaments and takes a few pictures of the women.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's
such
her
an
work.
indictment. Can I just ask, are we looking forward to a day in Nigeria when the Minister of Sports and Youth and Sports will be a woman?
And yeah, we are looking forward to that day.
For
We're also looking forward to the day woman will be president. We are looking forward to a lot of
to a
things.
lot of things. Right?
So-
Here's something to look forward to. Not so much anyway. But a super typhoon threatens to disrupt the Japanese Grand Prix and a series of key Rugby World Cup games in Japan this weekend. The Japan Meteorological Agency (JMA) projects Typhoon Hagibis could be the strongest to hit Japan this year, with high winds and heavy rain set to reach southern Japan on Saturday. It's going to affect a few games. We know that the Japanese Grand Prix is scheduled to take place at the Suzuka circuit, southwest of Osaka, meaning both qualifying and the race itself could be impacted.
Yes, could be totally just cancelled, and I wouldn't really talk much about the Rugby World Cup. That's halfway done, and they can sort that out. I'm just really worried about all the drivers and the constructors that have already arrived to Tokyo,
Mm.
and then they're hearing typhoon. I just couldn't like. I like the way Hamilton did his own. He just arrived and went straight to watch the NBA. Like, if he holds, fine. If he doesn't, but it's scary times. And I think it was it not the just a weekend ago they were talking about how they may not be able to see, visibility may be poor at the other Grand Prix,
Yes.
and now there's typhoon here. It's just it's something I'm sure some of the F1 drivers have never heard of or have never seen before. So to them it'd be like a trip. You know how
Adventure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they live for adventure.
no,
so I
no,
wouldn't
but
be
at least for
surprised.
this
Not for
kind of
this one.
adventure, this is going to be the heaviest hit. But the Grand Prix may hold and it may not hold. We're still waiting to hear. The weather forecast has given its own predictions. There's preparation already,
Mm.
and if Japan can't hold, then the season continues. It's that simple. They are not going to cancel the season because Japan couldn't hold. But we do hope it holds. It's another opportunity to see Ferrari and Mercedes again.
All right, let's hope it holds.
We have to take a break. We're still sharing sports stories here, very exciting ones with Tega, holding the reins of analysis here on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us.
Bye.
See you soon.
I'm tired. People are using my blood. This is interesting. President tells us he's losing his voice because of hard work.
Yeah. He's
I
working
shouldn't
really
say
hard.
any really hard. It just shows age is a problem in this administration.
Yes.
Age,
Serious
because you
problem.
can't do one small thing, then you say you're tired. What have you done? You're
He's
patting
not-
yourself on the back.
He's telling it that he's losing his voice. They can't even shout and say because now old man.
Oh my days. That's true. World Sight Day. Let's see what it's about.
It's not vision. It's not your
Vision
eyes.
first.
Mm.
I'm
When
glad
last
that
do you
our
have your eyes
resources-
checked?
Oh, someday I can't remember. I do like random checks. But you're right, sight was I think about 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I think my eyes are really poor, especially now. They were good before.
Yeah, I used to have 20. I have though. I still claim to have 2020
Oh,
vision.
I used to have 2020. I could see a black cat in the dark. It was good like that.
Okay, meant to draw attention on blindness and
Yeah.
vision impairment.
So we should have brought that chart here and told people to read it.
Yeah, yeah. I like to do.
Val will not even see anything.
About what?
I say you won't see anything. You say about what?
I see what.
His sight is affecting his hearing.
Hello, baby. I just heard back from the new company and their offer is not bad, but...
Oh, great. But what?
Well, their HMO is not AXA Mansa.
Ha! That's a big issue. You're so used to the AXA Mansa comfort.
Okay,
I know.
so
That's why I chose to
2019
call and
years
tell
ago.
It's
you.
a big deal. It will mean waiting to get confirmation, even if we had to rush to the hospital for an emergency as against swiping our card. If we have midnight baby issues, we'll have to drive to a hospital rather than calling 0700 AXA Mansa to speak to
Why
a
the
doctor.
fight now? This is the advert that they always
Please.
complain
I
about.
get the full picture and I know it's bad. I also asked them if I could pick my preferred HMO.
And
Calm down. I'm waiting for their response.
that will be the deal maker or breaker. Because I just can't imagine.
AXA Mansard HMO is health insurance done right. There is
This
no
woman's
other
blood is
service
already
like
hot.
ours.
Mm.
She really does need this.
Customer tailored.
Needs HMO to work.
www.axamansard.com
She could
or
just
call
collapse.
700 AXA Mansard to find out more and make the switch today. AXA Mansard, redefining standards.
Hi, my name is Dakori, and I'm going to tell you about your favorite Milo ready to drink.
Oh, I need a cocoa.
The natural goodness of milk, malt, and cocoa. And
So World
fortified
Side Day is held on the
essential
second
vitamins and
Thursday
minerals, so I can now
each
pack
year
the winning
of the
energy
month.
of
Yeah,
Milo
second
into
Thursday of
my
the month
children's
each year.
lunchboxes.
Second
So,
Thursday in
moms,
October.
what are you waiting
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
Make sure your
October.
child is always ready to win every day with Milo ready to drink.
Milo, the energy food drink of future champions.
Home. There's something about it. From the feeling of
I
peace
just
and
want to see.
serenity
Bros, why so deep? Home is anywhere the Airtel home broadband is. That's all. Enjoy more data than before on Airtel home
Think I don't
broadband.
need.
Get up to 55 gigabytes for 12,000 naira on MiFi and 160 gigabytes for 25,000 naira on
What's the next
routers.
story?
Reliable home broadband.
Today was really slow news day.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
How much of what you know today did you learn in a classroom? Education is not confined to the four walls of the classroom. It's also about those everyday interactions that inspire critical thinking and activate self-confidence. Find out more at this year's edition of Edu 360 by Union Bank. If you're a teacher, a parent, a student, or an educator, join us as we explore the theme Education Beyond Walls. There'll be interactive sessions, trainings, masterclasses, gaming sessions, and lots of fun learning experiences. Edu 360 will hold from October 24th to 26th at the Union Bank Sports Club, Bode Thomas Street, Surulere, Lagos. Attendance
All right,
is
studio.
free. Register now at edu360.ng.
Let's take it to the next story.
With a valid ID.
Alex, you're up. Back like we never left. So this is the locker room as part of Smooth Breakfast. You're on Smooth 98.1. Messages go to WhatsApp, YouTube, and Twitter. The locker room 91, that is.
All right, so let's go on to our next story here. England will walk off if they hear racist abuse. If I hear bim. Now this is for the Euro 2020 qualifiers this week, and Tammy Abraham says England are prepared to walk off the pitch if they are targeted by racist abuse. England face the Czech Republic on Friday, then play Bulgaria on Monday in a partially closed stadium because of fans' racist behavior in June. Wow, this is deep. Now Abraham says if it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. Harry Kane even said that if we're not happy, if a player is not happy, we all come off the pitch together. We did speak about that protocol. Harry Kane did ask the question about, instead of going through the 3 steps, if we decide that we want to stop the game, no matter what the score is, if we're not happy with it, as a team will decide whether or not to stay on the pitch. I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah, very good when it's spoken. But there is a protocol in place. So racist chants, report to the referee, racist chants, announcement. Then if after that there's still some more racist chants, then the team may walk off. That's UEFA's 3-step protocol. I do remember this when this protocol was announced or when this was made, and Gareth Southgate was like, "No, we're not going to do this. We're going to conduct ourselves and then let UEFA handle it." Now I'm hearing that they are going to walk off if one player is uncomfortable. Really? When did we have this conversation? Um, so it's obviously something that's going to come up, especially because the offenders, they are facing one of the offenders. If they weren't facing Bulgaria, we won't be hearing about this walk off or no walk off. But what it is obviously because the match is so close, it is fresh on most of the players' minds, and having a good number of black players, it's a conversation that will come up. So yeah, Harry Kane of course is saying, you know what, if you're uncomfortable, just let me know. But think about it, if you're the one that had the chance and the rest of the team comes to meet you, if they came to meet you and said, okay, let's just walk off, it's one thing. If they came to meet you and say, should we walk off, that's a different kettle of fish. Now you start to look a little petty if you're the one that says, okay, let's walk up, I'm uncomfortable.
Particularly if the other team is leading 1-0,
you know,
and to match up, you're like, I beg, let's try and match.
let's wait for UEFA's 3-step. Let's see how UEFA's 3-step works, and then if it doesn't, then we'll walk off. But it is something that is I mean, this is, I think, first of all, I'm laughing about it, but it's sad that we even have to be considering this in a football match in 2019. It's sad that we have to think about steps and modus operandi just because of you were born a certain way. So this is really a sad case, and the fact that the players are already discussing the match is all the way on Monday, and they're already discussing it now, that this is what's going to happen. They're anticipating, and they're already preparing for a game with that heavy thought in mind that somebody's going to abuse somebody. It's a really sad one, but that's the reality of the situation that those players find themselves in. I really wish there were no three. I wish as soon as racist chants, everybody go home.
Immediately.
Give 3 points to England. Bulgaria, you are suspended for your next 2 matches. You can't even play.
I totally agree.
If you say you can't even play, not you play behind closed door, you cannot even play, then we start to take it from there. But this racism that we're talking about, and the English players are fighting it. They're fighting it in Bulgaria, but even in the Premiership itself, where this is their home, they still struggle with racism. So I mean, I don't even know where to start on that one. But on this, if you ask me, if I'm UEFA, the next racist chant, the team is suspended. End of discussion. Don't play behind closed doors. Don't play in empty stadium. Don't play, period. Since you don't want other people to play, you won't play.
Exactly. I'm in support, Tega. You should be here.
Thank you very much.
There's too much money. They will negotiate. There's too much money to be made. Do you understand? They're going to negotiate. I can suggest, but
and people are still reeling from the shut up comment from Roger. As Bien sent the message, says he watched the shut up statement. All I can say was classic hashtag English accent chat. But we'll take a break, and we will be back to read more of your messages and take the final stories for Locker Room 981 here on Smooth 98.1.
And they put a break at 8:40.
Smooth 98.1. Keep listening.
That's weird. They've not been putting 40.
From the feeling of
YouTube. Let's do YouTube.
Messages.
Why so
We have a
deep?
lot.
we have a lot of YouTube messages.
Well, okay, we have 3.
YouTube people,
Enjoy.
don't look at me. I'm not feeling
Real
well.
Femi. Did you know what the Real Femi said? I like Kevin, Tega, Tamarebi, Bakumo, Abraham. Who are you? Sorry. Real Femi will ban you. Sorry.
Finally be able to afford that professional course.
That's not his real name, is it?
What, Real Femi?
Femi Abraham.
No. His name is just Tammy Ibrahim. I don't know any other
They call
name.
him Tamarebi, Bakumo, Abraham.
I don't even care. He's not Nigerian, so I don't send.
Where is he from?
He plays for England. He's the walk-off guy.
But is that not one that they said that Genoa is meant to call back home? Him and one other guy.
If you were the one that General calls, you would not swear for him.
People were saying no, they should come back.
Come for. He was only considering Nigeria because he was not informed then. So because he was not informed, England was not calling him up. But he has been scoring for Chelsea recently, so England called him. He's not the only one, himself and.
But if you come,
And
they
some
should
already.
give, they should dash dollars in Nigeria.
I beg they should.
Otedola
Don't call if I see you here.
Otedola and what is that his friend's name?
If I see you here, Tammy Abraham and Tomori,
Tomorrow,
I will-
yeah.
I will beat the two of you. I don't want people here. Stay there. 3 lions to the left.
Always there for you.
But they want to play for country.
Their country is 3 lions. No, no. They should play there. Don't come
But you
here.
know, I didn't know that they don't pay these people for national games. That they don't have a fee.
I take my car.
But that they give them bonus, match bonus.
So what's that one?
No, in England, do they give them match bonus?
You can call it what you want. They give you cover.
Exactly.
Because people
well
are saying
taken
that
care
oh
of.
Nigeria they will get more money if they come to play for Nigeria.
Let me put it this way. Think about if you went to work for a company.
Even on the shorter streets.
Some things we cannot say here. Later, I will break. In fact, there's a real situation I will break down.
Really?
Yeah.
Femi says we need them for Super Eagles. We are becoming just Eagles.
We don't want them. They are not super. Let them stay in 3 lions. Femi, leave them
We have
alone.
a celebrity commenter. You know the real Femi now.
Since 1970.
Let him be here.
You know the real Femi. He is Instagram sensation. He's a comedian. Watch his skits on Instagram. He's following us. Femi, please talk about us on Instagram. We're famous. We're famous.
Are we okay?
Huh?
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is that 45? Wow.
Yeah.
Is it 45? We don't read comments. Is it 45?
Are
Right?
you serious?
Yeah. I have a 5 minute.
No. They can't do this at all. So we had what other stories we had?
We had England, this Tammy Abraham story.
We had the Tammy Abraham story.
That's the
Okay,
one.
that's the one we
that's
just
that's
took.
the one.
Milan
You know,
sacking Marco.
Yeah, Jean Paul. That's the story. They just hired him this in August. They sacked him.
what did you do?
He did not win. That's what he did. He just started work in August.
So we making them do the same for Ghana Social. That was once the savior of Man United is now the villain.
Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans, like 6 gigabytes for 1,500 naira. Dial star.
Thank you. Femi says I'll give you a shout out. Ayo, Valentine don't know me. I know you.
I know you, Femi.
Give me a shout out.
Let's go back.
Let's go.
Mics are up.
And you are listening.
So the real Femi, shout out to you. I've done my bit. The others didn't. Still the locker room 981. Let's take a few messages before we go.
All right. So from YouTube, shout out to our YouTube fam. We love you. So Kodri is welcoming Valentine back. He says, took a he's just talking about you. Yeah. Akobe Paul says, Tega, what happened? Oh. Kodri, going back to Kodri. Kodri says England quickly called up Tammy and Tomori. No one wants to play for Nigeria anymore. And then the real Femi says we need them for our Super Eagles. We are becoming just Eagles. Let's go to a few more
On WhatsApp.
Yeah, on WhatsApp.
It's a very big shame that we've allowed female football to die in the country. While other African countries are developing the sector, we only depend on past glory. No functional female league to develop new talents. We only depend on foreign players who play college football abroad.
Honestly,
Hold on.
sad.
We did not allow female football to die. We allowed football to die, period. Male, female, all.
Chris says I look like I'm writing names of noisemakers.
No, he shut off. He said YouTube is bay for behind the scenes. I'm telling you guys, if you're not watching us on YouTube, I don't know.
He also adds that the typhoon should calm down. I'd like to see Mercedes and Ferrari this weekend, please.
Yeah.
Chimobi Victor from Malaba International said, for me, Tega, I just spoke my mind on the racist chants. You're just on point.
Aw.
MI says, great move by England. Nobody's here for uncouth and barbaric behavior. Football associations should also get a hold of their fans, especially in their home game. Valolo is back like he never left. ¿Cómo estás?
It says MI from Madrid.
Thank
I love
you,
it.
MI. Ciao. All right, guys. It's time to actually. We're not leaving yet. We
Yeah.
have just another hour special. Tomorrow is going to be the World Sight Day, so we'll have a very interesting special today. We'll have a very interesting discussion regarding the focus for 2019 World Sight Day. Stay with us here on Smooth Breakfast. Catch Tega on Twitter at Tega Supreme, looking alive and awake.
And alert.
At Tega Supreme, and Ladies International is at LIS International.
Why did they cut our show?
Every corner.
Kingsley, cut the show. You cut the